Good morning, children. Yesterday, in last audio, we have discussed about figure of speech. In that, I have told you the definition of figure of speech, and I have told you about different figures of speech. In that, I have explained simile, metaphor, personification, apostrophe, and oxymoron. Dear children, I hope these 5 figures of speech you must have understood. Today I am going to explain and teach you the sixth figure of speech, or it is hyperbole. First of all, I want to tell you the definition of hyperbole. Hyperbole is a poetic device in which the things are represented either in a greater way or in a less way than they actually are. It means either the things are represented in a very broad way, in a very greater way, or in a very, very less way than the reality than they actually are. I want to give you some examples. Suppose I have not seen you for ages. So here, just before some days, some months, you have met, or I have met to that person. But what statement is given? Ki I have not seen you for ages. One more example I am giving you. She wept oceans of the tears. How anybody can wept oceans of the tears? But here the sentence has been used, example has been used, she wept oceans of the tears. I want to give you another example. When she smiled, all the world was gay. G-A-Y, gay means happy. So these are the examples of hyperbole. This hyperbole figure of speech is used to express the things either in a very greater way or in a very less way than they actually are. Come on, the next one. Onomatopoeia. It is a figure of speech which is used to denote the sound. This onomatopoeia figure of speech signifies the use of word that is formed from sound. For example, cracking, buzzing, murmuring, puff puff, boom, thud. So the words which denote sound, growling, howling, cracking, buzzing, roaring. So these words, if the words which denote sound, if such words have been used in any line, in any poem, then there will be onomatopoeia, poetic device. I hope you have understood this. After onomatopoeia, dear children, now we are going to discuss about alliteration. Alliteration is a poetic device in which the similar sound or similar letter is repeated many times. Example, she is struggling in stormy sea. Here in this sentence we are saying that she means yes, struggling yes, stormy yes, or sea yes. Here suppose repetition of yes sound. How, second example I am giving you, how high his highness hold his haughty head. In this sentence we are saying that repetition of h sound. How h, high h, his h, highness h, holds h, his h, haughty h और head h. Another example I am giving you. A load of learning lumbering in his head. So here repetition of yell sound. So this alliteration poetic device, in this alliteration poetic device, figure of speech, the same letter or the same sound is repeated. Now we will discuss the next one, that is refrain. Refrain is a poetic device. It is a line or part of line which is repeated at the end of each stanza. Again I am telling you कि refrain is a poetic device. It is a line or part of line which is repeated at the end of each stanza. It means कि if a poem has 5 stanzas or every stanza is of 5 lines or 6 lines, so in stanza number 1 line number 5, in stanza number 2 line number 10, in stanza number 3 line number 15, and in stanza number 4 line number 20 will be same. If such techniques and such suppose tricks have been used in any poem anywhere कि the last line of each stanza is same, then there will be refrain. You can see one example I am giving you. Suppose one of the famous poem, The Brook. In that, if you will read that poem, so the poem is in 4 parts. So after every part, far men may go, but I have go on forever. After the end of second part, far men may go, far men may come, but I go on forever. So this technique used by and trick used by the writer and poet in the suppose poem, and such poetic device and such figure of speech is known as refrain. Now we will discuss about repetition. Repetition is a poetic device in which same word is repeated many times. Water is here and water is there and water is everywhere. This water word has been repeated many times. In alliteration we have seen similar letter and similar sound, but in repetition same word. Water is here and water is there and water is everywhere. Ice is here and ice is there and ice is everywhere. So the repetition of ice word, the repetition of water word, this is repetition. Next is imagery. Dear children, imagery is a poetic device in that a picture or an image is formed in the mind of reader after reading the poem. Once again I am telling you कि an imagery is a poetic device in that a picture or an image is formed in the mind of reader after reading the poem. You must have read the poem Solitary Reaper or any poem that after reading the poem, dear children, Solitary Reaper or Song of Rain, in that or the brook, in that suppose in those poems you have seen कि after reading the poem one picture, one image is formed in your mind, or such suppose poetic device is called imagery. After that, next one is pun. This consists in a play, this poetic device consists in a play on the various meanings of word and is used to cause humor. This particular pun is used to cause humor, admiration, or surprise. I am giving you some example. An ambassador is a man who lies abroad. Ambassador, representative of every country in other countries. An ambassador is a man who lies abroad for the good of his country. A teacher, second example, a teacher trains the mind and a guard minds the train. Two examples I have given you. Now the last one is irony. Irony is a figure of speech, my dear children. In this figure of speech, we say one thing when we mean just the opposite. Obviously, we praise to someone, but what we mean is blame or ridicule. One side it seems to us that we praise someone, but what we mean is blame or to ridicule. I want to give you some example. I shall lose no time in reading your book. Another example I am giving you. When Antony, suppose, goes in the funeral of Mr. Caesar, how he appeals the people. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage. Here the effort of Mr. Antony is to rouse the public against the conspirators. But he innocently, suppose, appeals in such way that his intention is not, suppose, negative, but he wants that public should go against Caesar. So these are about irony. Dear children, I have explained all figures of speech related to your syllabus. In that, I have told you simile, metaphor, personification, apostrophe, oxymoron, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, alliteration, refrain, and repetition, imagery, pun, and irony. I hope you must have understood. Thank you, children.